Good morning, everybody. This is Gene Trades, and I'm making a quick video just to review the quick 3 scalp trades that I took this morning on SPY. Um, and yeah, so here we go. The first thing I always do is I identify all the pre-market levels that I can see. So I saw that there's a resistance around here at 411.50, and there was a support forming, minor support forming at 410.60. And I drew those because we have one touch right here on the previous day, which was Friday, and we got another touch, and then another one right here. So it's 3 touches. You want to have a couple touches for support. And then this was obviously the high, and this is actually all-time high for SPY. So I was like, all right, that's another resistance right there. And then in the morning, you could see that it was still, touching the resistance, and then it came up and it formed a little pivot resistance right here. So my plan was to say, okay, I'm gonna enter into calls. These are all very bullish candles. And then it had a quick reject. It got slightly rejected at the level that I said I wanted to buy in at. And, to decide whether I was going to buy or not, what I started doing is I started watching the time of sales, and I started watching the bid and the ask prices. And most of the time you can kind of get an inclination as to what the stock is going to do based off of watching the time and sales. And when I'm looking to enter to buy calls at the break of either the high of day or resistance, and in this case it was both, what I want to see is the time of sales start printing green, kind of like how it is right now. And I want to see the volume pick up a little bit. So yeah, like once I saw that, and I saw that it was sort of holding around this level, and he had 5 previous candles that were all very bullish, and it went under the 200 moving average, and then still closed above with high volume. I mean, it's also the first minute of the day, but then you have all of these. I was like, okay, so it looks like it's about to break the resistance, so I'm gonna enter. And I entered right here, about an at the money contract for 0.49 or $49 each. And then I bought, it broke, and then I sold the very top, because you always want to sell into strength when you're scalping options, and especially when they have 0 data expiration. So it broke. I sold half my position, and then I kept holding. I held through this candle, and then it didn't look like it was about to keep going, so I sold another half of my position. So I sold another half right here. And then, because I still felt like it could come up, it still had room to go, and I was still watching the bids and the asks, the bid and the ask, and I was still watching the time and sales, and it was still holding up somewhat, but it was starting to, lose its momentum and get indecisive. And I didn't want to, get caught on the downside. So I sold another half, and you can see that it came up a little bit, and then it got rejected by the all-time high at 11.50. So I said, all right, I'm going to get out completely, and then that's what I did. And as soon as it got rejected, it dumped and came right back down to the support. And I always say the best place to buy a stock is when it comes down to support right after a previous breakout. So that's what I did. Meanwhile, again, I'm still watching the bid and the ask, and I'm still watching the time and sales to make sure that this price is actually going to hold up. This price level will actually hold up. And it did. So I entered again at another at the money contract at 0.49, and I sold up here. it wasn't nearly as strong as the momentum from here. So I got out quickly, and I still came out with some decent profits. So there's that. That was the second scalp that I took. And then the last one that I said that I was going to take is because I was also thinking about taking a rejection trade at the high, and I didn't. And then I saw a little triangle forming right here. So if I were to delete all of these, no, I don't want to do that. So if I were to delete all of these, right? I sold my whole. Damn. Okay. Yeah. So there was oops. It got rejected at the high. The all-time high, and I noticed that it bounced on the resistance. There's not the resistance. It bounced on the support, and it wasn't able to come back all the way up here. So I said, okay, there's a pattern forming. There's a little descending triangle or descending wedge. Not really descending. It's just more of a wedge, but I said, all right, I'm going to buy the breakout on the downside. I'm not going to buy the breakout on the upside only because there's a resistance right there. And there's not enough space for me to be comfortable getting into the trade. Because I want to at least close my trade at 10% or more. Always. So, there's also the resistance at 411.20. I keep saying resistance. The support at 411.20, and it came right down into it. It wasn't super high volume, but I watched the second candle, and I was just watching it form, and so I entered on the second candle, and I said I was gonna get out on the 200 moving average, because most of the time the 200 moving average tends to act as support or resistance. And in this case, it didn't, and it sucks. But I followed my plan, and I got out at right when it hit, and it kept pooping. But I won the trade, and he bought puts right here on this candle, and then I sold at the 200 moving average. I bought puts for 0.79, and then I sold them for 0.84 down here. And I don't think I even mentioned the prices earlier on. I bought a call. I bought calls at the money calls right here, 0.49, and sold up here for 0.61, and same right here, 0.49, sold for what was it, 54, and then down here 0.79, sold for 0.84, or $79 to $84. $49 to $54, and $49 to 61 was the highest, because I also exited right here, and I got out around 56. Okay, but yeah, so those are the 3 trades that I took for the day. This trade gave me an average of 16%. The trade from here to here gave me an average of 12%. And this trade right here, this breakdown trade, gave me an average of 7%. Those are all the trades that I took for now. After taking 2 to 3 trades, I always take a break and I step away from the market. But yeah, that's it.